Welcome to Code Talk. Normally, this is a solutions only podcast, and I'm your host, Victor Vinciant. And to my right, your left, depending on how your screen is set up, I got the other artist, Antoine. So, we're going to get right into it and start off with a video. We're going to do a couple reactions to things, and we're going to get Antoine's take on what's going on in the world of YouTube.
You, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Fully aware that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating Black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another Black man is 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together. And then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us. But then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
I didn't make this video to dehumanize, to degrade, or to bash Black women. Well, for one, I'm a pro-Black man, and I believe in Black love. I believe in Black family. I believe in Black children. However, I made this video to wake you sisters up because, ladies, you all are losing. Every year, more Black men are waking up and going overseas. Every year, more Black men are waking up and going outside our race, looking for love. That is why I made this video, okay? Now, let's break it down, break by break, with what she just said.
I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating Black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. I don't know what to do from this point on.
Now see, she just listed what she is tired of from Black men. What sisters, what they don't do is look at what Black men are tired of from Black women. Today in 2023, Black women still expect Black men to be like the men from the 60s. However, Black women, have changed. They have changed. They believe they are quote-unquote slaves if they cater to their men. Sisters believe if I cook and clean for my man, I'm his mother. I'm sure you all have heard that before. Why am I going to cook and clean for a grown man? I'm not his mother. Those are the things that Black women say to Black men. Yet, you want Black men to provide for you. That's not how it works. If you made it this far, hit that like button and leave a comment to trigger YouTube's algorithm. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. So hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to let you know every time I upload a new video.
Meet Eric. He says that Black women are too materialistic. He is not attracted to them and he will not date them. Now wait a minute. Before we behead this poor guy, let's hear what he has to say, okay? Why won't you date Black women?
The experiences I've had with Black women is basically the first thing they want to know is how much money do you have? What kind of car do you drive? What can you do for me? And so forth. My experiences.
So your experiences, you couldn't possibly have dated all the Black women in this world, could you?
No, not at
So
all.
don't you think you're generalizing just a little?
I'm not generalizing for anyone else except for myself. What I'm saying is that in my experiences, that's what I...
Okay, you say that Black women are greedy, selfish, and arrogant.
The ones that I have dated.
And then you're like, oh, well, what do you bring to the table? Sir, why would I bring anything else to the table other than my physicality? Because that's what you like. That's why you're speaking to me. That's why you've decided to pursue me. That's why you're in my face. That's why you're in my DMs. That's why you're texting me, calling me. That's why you're asking me out, whatever it is. That's why, because you like the way that I look. Why would I bring anything else other than that? Why would I bring anything? I'm not bringing anything to the table. I'm not bringing bring to the table other than this fat ass, these big titties, this pretty little bite? No, that's it. That's it. That's all you get from me. That's it. And I'm going to take your money 100%. Yes, because that's all you can give.
She's a 10, but she doesn't cook or clean. What's in your rating?
Probably a 6. What I'm looking for in a wife, cooking is a big thing. I'm not saying that she'll be cooking all the time, but like that'll be something I'd really want in a wife material. So,
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. Like, it used to cost millions to advertise on TV, and now because of streaming, even with $50, I mean, you can advertise on.
Really hate it. All right, Antoine, talk to me about what you see in this video so far. Can't hear you. Got you muted. Still muted.
How am I still muted? Oh, am I good?
Yeah, you are now. Come on.
Okay, so see, I was hoping we'd do section by section, but I'll take the first girl, right? I think that listen, I find black women today, you have to be damn near perfect, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you're damn near perfect, they don't qualify for the man they want. They don't, right? And they're bringing a package. Statistically, most black women have a baby. Black women don't get married for one. Black women have babies, all right? Stop with this whole, they don't promote being married. It's not something they give everything to the man for free, right? They're the ones that stay in the relationship forever till the guy used, bruised, and abused them and moved on, right? So they stay in relationships forever. I don't even know why. And at their age, they should know, sometimes they've given the guy the best of them with their kid, and then they want the next guy to pick up. Not gonna happen. And then the ones that are single, their standards are too high, and they don't want to build with a man, right? They want the man to come in already making so much amount of money when they don't even know the math of how many men make that. Plus, they want him to be black. Black men ain't asking for black women to be loyal. They can go to other races and date. I actually think black women shouldn't date black men. I think black women should date white women and other races. Not white women, white men and other races, because they smile more, they take care of themselves better. Most of them get into a gym because they know they can't bring that shit that they do with the black man. So I think they should do that, get into training, and then when the guy doesn't marry them, they know that when they come back to the black guy, they're already refined, right? But with the black guy, they don't put those standards. They don't smile. They got the hard face on. Who wants to deal with that? It's 2024. I mean, if you notice, they don't even go on dating apps because they have to smile. I mean, you're asking for something that you want. You're supposedly want this guy that's a package, but you're already unwrapped. And being that way, guys with options really don't need to date you. And especially the ones that you want. I guess they go on YouTube and they see all these guys supposed to be making over 100K, and that's the standard now, right? And they put these guys on such blast on what they want. They're not able to commit. When do black women ever talk about a guy committing to them? They're the ones that can't even be, I don't like this word, submissive to them. They're the ones that want to have their cake and eat it too. I mean, you at least I can say men know where they fall. Why? Because other men check them. We check other men. Bro, come on, get it to the gym. I don't even blame her for not dating you. Come on. You want this top tier woman, and yet you're just not even living up to the part.
Well, I would say to that, in reference to this video, the guy that was on the Ricky Lake clip. I
want to get to him. He's wrong, by the way. Well, I don't blame any fine woman in any race that when she's going after a man, the man has to have a certain criteria. Mind you, she has to be the package for that type of man that she's qualifying for. But if she's qualifying for a top tier man or a man that's doing well, I have no problem in her seeking him out. Because when we make money and we do good in life, we're looking for the finest trophy wife on our arm. That's a fact. So I don't blame that. I don't blame that guy. Yeah. I don't blame her.
as Marie says, I think that black women are focused on money from a black man because they're coming from a place of lack financially in their own lives and comes from a family of poverty. A woman with money have different issues. I agree with that. I think typically speaking, people talk about the thing that they don't have. Because if you had it, it wouldn't be a part of the conversation. For instance, like if I didn't have a car, right? And every time you talk to me, I'm like, man, I got to get a car. I got to get a car. I got to get a car. And then once you're not talking about a car, I assume that Antoine has a car, right? I would assume, and I'd imagine, even if a car is not an issue, transportation rather, you know what I'm saying? Right. A means of getting around, a car is not a concern, you know? But I believe people talk the most about what they don't have, if that makes sense. You know, I think they talk the most about what they probably don't qualify for, you know, because if you got the very thing that you qualify for, it wouldn't be a complaint. That's why I'm always talking about like when people say they're single by choice, right? And I know I've heard you say you're not single by choice, you're single because
by the choices you made.
But I'll say this though, right? Let's say if you truly are single by choice, then you shouldn't even be in a relationship conversation.
I don't think people are single by choice. I think generally speaking, people want to be in a relationship.
I think they want to be in a relationship.
But I think their choices are what's stopping them from being in a relationship.
Well, I think that's a matter of probability versus possibility also too, because I'll say it like this, right? Let's just say, you got to work on yourself, right? You chose your work. You chose to be that. That was a choice to be single, but you still are in the market for a relationship, but you had to choose your work in order to, to prioritize what you had going on correctly, right? Correct. So what I'm saying is that there's a choice in every crossroad in a person's life where they choose to go at it alone and you chose to be a nomad. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a necessity. It'll be a whole lot different if you were actively searching and neglecting your work and then not getting your outcomes, then you would have a different perception of it. But whereas like I do know people that choose to be single because they have things to work on for the same reasons that you chose your work, right? So
okay, that's who we're talking about, though. That's
but that's what I'm saying. That's that pocket of people.
You're allowed that.
Yeah, that you're allowed that. You're supposed to be able to make a responsible decision to go at it alone. If you don't feel like a relationship is going to help your purpose, then yes, being single by choice is the thing. Now,
but also let's put in the factor that if you can't afford to date,
But here's what I'm about to say. I'm gonna get to that point because I know where you're going. If you choose your work and you choose to focus on your purpose and stuff like that, choosing that over being in a relationship makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But if you do that, don't go complaining about your lack of relationship options when you chose to be single. Okay. Now, if you were in the dating market and you're constantly being disappointed because your expectations are here and your options don't reflect your expectations, and then you just opt to be single, that's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still out there in the market, you know what I'm saying, waiting for somebody to think that you're waiting to fit somebody else's criteria. So if you make the decision to be single, you're choosing it because you're not happy with what you qualify for in most cases.
But the girl in the video, right? The first one, they always talk like that, but they never say specifics. He doesn't have money. Well, how much money is he making that for you is not enough? He's you know what I mean? Like he's not committed. Well, what makes you say he's not committed? How long have you been with? Like there's never specifics. There's always a talking point. When women talk like that, I think they should have the confidence to say exactly what they're talking about. And maybe that's the type of guy you're attracting because you don't qualify for the other ones, right? Maybe you're just not fitting the bill, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're not willing to lower your standards, so the type of guys you're looking for aren't looking for you, and there's only a few of those to go around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realistic. Men are more realistic in their options.
Yeah.
I think, and men are, rather women like to admit that or not. Men are more realistic in their options. You know, there's those stats out there that told you men are getting laid like people think they are, right?
Well, check this out. So men are definitely mathematical about their options, right? There was a part where in that video, the guy was talking about men choosing to marry out, or matter of fact, not even him. He said it, but I want to go back to a part where you kind of added on to it to expand it more. You said that it would be beneficial for Black women to date out of their race, right?
Yep, I think that's an etiquette class for them.
Okay.
I think that would be. I think more Black women need to do that.
What percentage?
You know,
off the top of your head, I just want to ask you a question. Off the top of your head, what percentage of Black women do you believe actually marry outside of Black men and women?
Oh shit, I'd say it's a small amount, 20%, 10%, 20%, something like that.
You'd be shocked. It's a lot lower than that. It's like around 4%.
There you go.
4 to 7%. It's not even 10.
There you go. See, but I think more of them should do it. I don't think they should wait around for the Black man.
Now, Black men are marrying out, getting close, somewhere between 15 and 20%. You know what I'm saying? But
and what was the stats on Black women being baby mamas?
I think 80% of kids born
right.
out of wedlock. Yeah,
there you go.
It's
the thing with what they had, right?
Yeah, and that's because, like I said before, you have to ask, like, well, why does that happen? It's not just because they don't get married, right? In that metric. Well, you have to say, well, what type of household would normalize that type of outcome, right? And generally speaking, the single mothers raise single mothers and men that become single fathers, because if you grow up not seeing your parents married, what's the probability of you value a marriage?
Right.
So, because at that large disparity says that it's a normal practice, you know, because it would be different if it was like such a small number and we're like, man, that's an anomaly, you know. It's more of an anomaly that you see two-parent homes. Like, we hear about it, you know.
That's what I'm trying to say. Black women don't get married. Black women have babies. I keep trying to say that, like, it's like, and people are acting like it's shock. Why? If the numbers say that, marriage, you can talk. I mean, if you go on YouTube, it's not something they promote. Black love, and black love is black love. But look how long these women stay in relationships and not get married to the guy. They give him the best of them for all those years, and they only complain after he leaves and checks out.
Yeah, I think it's important to highlight, like when Chris is around, he talks about the loud minority, but the loud minority is
what's the loud minority he's talking about? I don't know.
Well, I was about to say this. The loud minority doesn't exist in this particular discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that the loud minority, the equivalent of would be if there were more single fathers than there were single mothers. You know what I'm saying? But the percentage the disparity is so great because you got an 80% number over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 14% of Black men are single fathers, and then it's 2 times that amount with the single mother. So it's almost 30%, you know, and then 30% of women are making 80% of the babies out of wedlock. So that's a wild disparity. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, because how many of those women have kids with more than one man, more than one of the same guy, you know?
Exactly. And you know, like I said, I don't know if the woman in the video had a kid, but if she'd had a kid, I hope she realizes that disqualifies her from a lot of men.
Yeah,
it does. Unfortunately, it does. I mean, you know, men know we're defined by the choices we made,
yeah.
and we're slapped in the face every day by it.
Let's keep it pushing, man. Here we go.
I want to talk about. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no. What do you got to say?
I want to play that man's video again. The guy.
Okay, I'll bring it back. Yeah, I can bring it back up.
Just give it a second with that guy. Him.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. want to catch it.
And I like the way he said my experience. So people
Yeah, I like that too. That's a good point to highlight. Let me bring that up.
Meet Eric. He says that black women are too materialistic. He is not attracted to them and he will not date them. Now wait a minute.
Now pause right there.
Before we behead
Pause right there. Are black women being too materialistic when they ask for a guy that's 6'4", too materialistic when a guy has to pay all the bills, too materialistic when he has to have a six-pack, too materialistic when he has to have his shit together, too materialistic when he has to take her out. I mean, are they being why are they eyeing for? Like, this is what black women qualify. This is what black women constantly say on shows. Not all, because I don't know why the black community likes saying when they hear something, they always go with all. Nobody said all. But we're generally speaking, because the world operates on generalities. So we're generally speaking, are they being materialistic when they do that? And don't tell me you've never watched Pop the Balloon and that's the first thing out of their mouth. Oh, he's too short. Oh, I don't like his shoes. Oh, you know what? That he doesn't have a matching belt to his shirt. I mean, like, I'm not making this up.
No, I think yeah, it's just popular to say, you know. And again, I believe the women that fit the behavior that you're describing, most of the people that have all of these requirements don't even fit the archetype for a man that they're even describing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like they're describing a man that exists only in like a Danielle Steele novel.
I think women date. I think some women make these choices that they make because they want to impress their friends more than they want to be in the relationship.
I agree with that, Antoine. Hold up, let me. You hit the nail on the head right there. I think it's a more of a vanity driven discussion. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can't. Like, every man can simulate what type of woman that would drive him crazy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that'll be the same woman that he would marry.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, so like you got hot and then you got a wife, and sometimes you get lucky and you get both, but can't have it all.
this poor guy. Let's hear what he has to say, okay? Why won't you date black women?
The experiences I've had with black women is basically the first thing they want to know is how much money do you have? What kind of car do you drive? What can you do for me? And so forth. My experience.
So your experiences, you couldn't possibly have dated.
I don't blame a woman that's fine as hell asking for those things, right? Because we as men, when we have our stuff together, we ask for the finest of women and hope that they got their shit together. So I don't see nothing wrong in a woman doing that. When she's vetting you for a husband or vetting you for a serious relationship, I think women need to have standards. If they had standards, maybe they wouldn't have opened their legs up so easily to the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? Maybe they wouldn't have been used goods, right? Maybe they wouldn't have been sloppy seconds. Maybe they would have had that guy. So I don't blame a woman that's got her stuff together questioning the man that's in front of her about these things, because that's called having a life. I'm not talking about the quality of his car. I'm not talking about that sort of stuff. I'm talking about making sure he at least checks the box for those things. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. What do you do for a living? And it comes in the form of, what do you do for a living? Comes in the form of, are you into cars? Like, it comes in the form of getting to know the person. He obviously picked you up in something.
Yeah.
And that's the way they find out if you're ambitious.
Ashley says the modern black woman is a taker, not a reciprocator. You know,
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's what happens though. Like, when you function like a taker on the market of anything and not adding back to it, you're probably in survival mode. You know, I do believe that a lot of people live their life in a way that's economically reckless, with nothing invested in whatever they're doing, and then a lot of them just spend all of their money. You know what I'm saying? And they think that a man is a retirement plan. You know, the women that fit this behavior, they still want somebody that they're not qualified for. You know, they can talk about it all they want to, but ultimately it's no different than them, you know, saying that they want a guy that fits a fairy tale, you know.
Vic, you could say what you want and want what you want. Just don't expect delusional results.
Yeah.
That's all.
Don't complain.
You can say to high heaven, I want a guy that's like this. I want a guy like that. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna look in the mirror and say if you qualify for that guy, because obviously that guy you're talking about has options, and you may not be it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reality conversation around this topic, and as it evolves, man, I'm understanding not understanding, but like the complexity of it is worth discussing, because like I was talking to Eugene today. Shout out to Eugene. And we had a lengthy discussion about how men are looking at their options, when it comes down to wanting to get married. And we got to talking about 4B, right? Where the women are withholding, themselves until men improve and come up. Finally. Why did they do that 30 years ago, man? God damn. I said that before too. Well, you know what else is what else
supposed to be a flex? Wait a minute, is that supposed to be a flex?
It's supposed to be a flex, Antoine.
It's supposed to be a flex, really?
Yeah, I'm not. I can't make this up. That's why.
No, I want to make sure I'm on the right. It's not a skip. Like that's really supposed to be a flex.
Yeah. So where it came from? Do you know the origins of it?
Well, it seems like the origins of it is because most of them are all used up, and it's like, okay, let's start this trend. That's how it would probably start.
Like being able to speak freely about it is what's important. So, like the origin of 4B started in Korea in like 2019, right? And their society was like, the women are like, hey, we're not going to pay guys any attention and not even consider them for marriage until the men improve. Okay, fair point, right?
I think that's fantastic.
But in other countries, it's more traditional, it's family centric. It's not a lot of single motherhood, you know what I'm saying, like that. So 4B being adopted here in the United States by the women is only really just become popular due to the election outcome. and it's kind of like an ego situation. It was like, well, because we didn't get the president we wanted, because Kamala didn't win, we're going to practice 4B. We're not going to give you guys any more kids.
Women out there, black women out there, why didn't you guys do that 30 years ago?
Before the kids.
Why didn't you adopt that? It was always there. I don't see. That's what I mean. I don't understand why. And notice that has to be a black thing. Jesus Christmas, 4B. Like there's even a name for it.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Check this part out, Antoine. Like, I know it's funny.
Holy crap! That's supposed to be a flex.
It's supposed to be a flex, right, to some degree. But what's so crazy is that we know that 54% of black men don't have kids at all. So the truth is, 54. Yeah, me too. 54% of black men,
and I'm a catch,
have been practicing 4B without saying it. It's just like, it's not a suitable market to consider having a family with the option.
But Vic, is it fair to say men practice 4B because we got no choice?
No, I wouldn't say that. No,
the average guy ain't getting laid. We don't got no choice. 4B's always been around for us.
Yeah, you know what, man? For some men, you're right. Hold up, you might have to get the shot. Some men don't have no options. You know what I'm
I'm telling you, we don't get 4B's. 4B's what we live by.
Yeah, because like seriously, it's like you know what, that's the absolute truth, because that captures one of the things, I said before, I think in terms of abstinence from a man and a woman's perspective, right? That first 25 years of a man's life, he struggles with trying to attract the right woman and retain the right woman. So he ends up having a whole spectrum of different women. He got older women, because the women his age are not interested in men their age. They're interested in older men, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you think about it, if you're 20 years old as a man, and then the girl you like, she's 20, but she's getting attention from 30 to 40-year-old guys that's got money, cars, you know what I'm saying, properties and everything else. And she's like, why would I go hang with the guy that, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't have anything that's my age? Unless she is family oriented, raised to be a wife, go to college, find a guy that, you know what I'm saying, that she can have her kids with if she values family, you know what I'm saying? But if you come from a household with that had unmarried parents, the likelihood of you caring about marriage is slim and none, you know what I'm saying? So then now you got a bunch of kids, young adults rather, both men and women in their sub-20s that can't date each other. Well, the guy can't date the girl because the girl that's his age is interested in a whole different market of men. You know what I'm saying? So those guys are gonna miss all the time, you know. And then later on, that same group of women that get all of that attention in their 20s that never get married, like, and then when they into their 30s and their 40s, they still pretty and everything, but now they got kids, bodies, and everything else that men say that they don't want. You know what I'm saying? So they experience abstinence on the backside.
But if you think about it, though, right? Like, I think like these women that are looking for that, you know, I really don't believe. I don't believe in research, and I don't believe Black women want to be in relationships. I think they want the lifestyle, but they don't want the commitment. Commitment means following a guy's lead. Black women, you can't tell them nothing. They're not capable of that. At least the ones that are refined can. The ones that have dated a white guy can, obviously. The ones that, you know, work on themselves, conduct themselves as proper feminine woman, not with a guy or without, they're feminine. The ones that take a walk, know how to carry themselves, they can. But generally speaking, I really don't think that, right? I really don't think that. That's why I said they should date outside. If they're really that sick of Black men, they're really that sick of the passport bros, I say go elsewhere, even though you're not going to get what you want elsewhere because they don't want you either. But I think you should try. I really think they should try. I really think they should get a taste of culture. If they really think the Black man doesn't want them, because I'm still stuck on what do you need protection from? No one's ever really answered that to me, right? They say we need to be protected from what? Who's holding you down? Slavery? What we talking? Whipping and chains? Like what we talk? Protection from what? Right? I don't know what they mean by that. Never gotten a straight answer with that one, you know. And I know the white supremacist and all that bullshit. Whatever. That's your life, not mine. But I can't figure it out.
I'm with you on that, Antoine. Like I asked that question before. I'm like, there was a post in a Facebook group that was talking about chivalry, and I was like, refined women and wives are the only women that qualify for chivalry.
Yeah, like but they're wise because they know how to conduct themselves as women.
Yeah, like it's like a lot of you know. I think 4 years ago when everybody was stuck in the house during COVID, you know, it changed the dynamic of who qualifies for what, and people got a chance to see what it was like to live in a world that felt unsafe, right? And if you're independent, then you don't get to complain about a lack of protection. You can't have it both ways. And the truth is, like I posted that picture last week about that lady driving into that ditch. And you know, and expecting somebody else to, like, men are not going out of their way to protect you from your own stupidity or help you recover from your own stupidity. You know,
nor should they. I'm not gonna put myself in danger for you. I don't know you.
Like why would you expect that? You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, a lot of the time we have to go back and reframe that conversation, because there's a lot of mean things that's being said. And I'm saying mean as a very, very, you know what I'm saying, loose term, you know what I'm saying? But things that some men would probably see as being disrespectful towards men, you know?
Do you think, I don't think women do the math. I don't think they do the math when it comes to being with a partner for what they want. They think they're going to get the guy the same age that's going to be able to make 100K, and it's not going to happen. Right? They think that a guy that's in his stride, men that are in this, what is it? We hit our financial peak in our 50s or something like that. And
45 to 50 is when.
50. Okay, so if you're a woman and you're 27 and you want to be a wife and you want to have kids, then you're looking at a man that's 35 because that's when he's starting to think about it.
Yeah, look at hey, actually pull that comment back up there. Yeah. Older men are more established.
Yeah.
Older men are more emotionally and sexually sexually disciplined and just overall really sexy. Older men.
Well, Ashley's doing the math. Ashley's doing the math, right? And I don't think women do the math.
Man,
they don't. If I'm a woman and I'm 27 and I'm looking to be a wife and kids with the best top tier men, then I'm looking at a guy that's 45, 50. Yeah. Period. If I want that Mercedes and stuff like that, that guy's 45 or 50. Unless he's, today millionaires are born every day with this YouTube stuff and Bitcoin and everything. But realistically, that's what we're talking, right? If I'm a girl and I want to build a guy, and when I say build a guy, meaning I'm coming up with a guy, I'm getting him in college on my way out. Now I'm building with him. We got married and we're moved in together, and now I'm building with the guy. That's different. He's becoming a lawyer with student loan. I'm becoming a doctor with student loan, and you're building together. That's a different thing. Now, if you're on the dating market, let's say you're a woman of, let's be realistic. I go out, so I see women from, usually it's like 28 and 35, right? And you see the older ones that have been divorced. They're just looking to get laid. I'm not talking about them, right? Women in that bracket looking for that man, right? They have to understand the guy that's making that kind of money, if he sees you at 30, 35, he's saying, okay, I'm going to date her for a year. We think like this. Geriatric pregnancies at 35. I want the healthiest kid. So I'm looking at getting to know her for a year. I'm looking at moving in with her after that year. 6 months after that, I'm thinking, okay, are we going to have kids or not? Because I want her farther away from 35 and in the middle of 30, right? So that's how men think that are building, right? Because they want to do the best. They want the best for their product, the best for their money. I don't think women know men do that. I think women just think, oh, I look sexy, I look hot, I'm going to offer him the pee, and that's going to be enough. And he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's like, again, going back to, like you mentioned, the college piece, right? Those young students that fit what you're saying have to be marriage minded. They have to come from a household that's marriage minded. You can't simulate getting married and just saying, you know what, I want to get married, and then think it's going to work when you haven't been cultivated properly, because this is a dangerous thing. That's why the fail rate is so high on this stuff. So I want to go, like you mentioned something about protection, right? And getting protected from. Let me play you a video that feeds kind of what you were saying.
Do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, love it. And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip.
I have Handy Manny at home. He fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
A second. She's really talking about a servant. Let's face it. No, it's a handyman she's talking about.
No, it's a handy Manny. Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have, well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that.
My husband talks about his feelings with his friends.
Maybe he's gay.
I'm in shock right now. How is this okay? You have a panel of women sitting and be so misandrous against men. It's insane. And you have the audience going to every single fucking word they're saying. And then the only, like, one woman said, like, oh, not all men, we need gay men because they gossip. What? And then the only logical, and I'm using that word very loosely here, woman that has a man that does stuff for her and open up about his feelings, and one of the panel members said maybe he's gay, and some other woman said you have a servant. How is this okay? If this would have been a panel of men, just think about this. If this would have been a panel of men degrading women in this capacity, the show would have been canceled, the men's life would have been ruined, and they would have been stalked by people. Stalked. But this is okay? Why don't we try to close the gap between the sexes instead of fucking extending it? This is bullshit.
And they need protection, right? Really? They need protection, right? When you have that, you're telling me you need protection. Really? I am not protecting you in no way, shape, or form unless you're with me, partner, or married. Other than that, no. I'm telling you now, when there's a fire, I'm the first one out the door. I ain't looking around. You know what I mean? I'm only grabbing the hand that's next to me. And you're lucky if I do that. Yeah. It shocks me that's what I'm saying. So when I hear women say they need protection, especially black women, I just laugh. And you know what's sad about what's her name on the show that said she had a man, he does this, he does that, goes down and all this. You know what's sad about that? You want to hear what's really sad? Sickens me to my stomach most of all.
What's that?
Did she even defend him when they got insultive towards him? No.
Of course.
At the end of the day, she's a fucking same. Excuse my language. Did she even defend him to say, hey, whoa, you don't know my man like that. You keep that stuff outside of my relationship. Nothing. She just puts her head down and chuckles and like a stupid bitch. Like if that was my woman, I'd change the locks on the way home. Like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you with? You couldn't even say one thing in my defense. Like, it just shocks me. Excuse my language, but I ain't protecting shit. Shit.
Oh man.
When a woman gets slapped, you know what I ask? My first question is, you know what my first question is?
What's up?
Did she deserve it? That's my first question out of my mouth. Did she deserve it? Hey. And then the second question is, did she figure she can hit him without any retaliation? That's my second question.
Yeah, like what was the plan, right?
I swear to God, those are my first two questions.
What was the plan?
First two questions.
You know, when you start seeing that, it creates a completely different scenario of, you know, the question of, you know, people talking about, you know, when we did that show about men not approaching women anymore, or them not getting the women not getting the attention that they used to getting, right? Then when you start getting into that conversation, it's like you're saying, like men have checked out a long time ago. Men been like, we took the message, the single guys that I see, that's just what I see on social media. Because I'm a married man. I'm not in the dating market. So I just pay attention to what people talk about, and you know, I bring it to the discussion because this is something that's very, very heavy in our social reproductive lives. You know, like this impacts relationships, it impacts safety and everything else. So then after you saw that last clip, let me play this one right here for you, Antoine.
Dude, I really don't know what it is, but whenever I make eye contact with men, I look at them and I'm like, ew. Like, I get disgusted. Like, why are you so ugly? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me and then why are you so ugly? Or the other way around.
Ladies, before you ask the question of why don't men approach women anymore, why don't men take the initiative to approach, to go up and talk to women, ask them out on dates, it's because you have videos like this. And this ain't the only video that's out here in the internet like this. Like, you got plenty of other videos of women saying the same thing. Don't even look my way. Oh, ew, why are you even bothering to look my way? Why are you approaching me if you are ugly, if you are unattractive? Men see this kind of stuff, ladies. Okay, they see videos like this, so they're going to assume, okay, yeah, a lot of women are like this, especially nowadays in 2024. With the rise of social media, shaming tactics. You know, look, listen, I have whole safety car videos for women, so I understand women's safety. I really do. I get it. And men are creeps. But at the same time, the truth is the truth. And the truth is that a lot of women make it bad for y'all. You know what I mean? To not want to be approached. you know, or for men to not want to approach y'all by saying things like this, okay? And when you say things like this, it's a red flag to me because it makes it seem like, okay, she must speak for a lot of women. And, you know, listen, every dude ain't gonna be like me. I'm a confident dude. I'm gonna shoot my shot regardless of what women are saying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I understand the fact that men don't really see a point in approaching when you have videos like this out. You know what I mean? Women like this are gonna be single for a long time. I'm just keeping it a buck. So ladies, this is what you gotta understand.
Like, that's why I said I don't think people want to be in relationships anymore, buddy. I really don't. Very few. Not all. Of course, everybody keeps hearing all. Not all. Not all. Put that in there. But I don't think people want to be in relationships anymore, and I think people are unrealistic in their expectations. That's all. I really don't, and it's sad. You know, it really is sad because you know, I could tell you I have a lot of friends, but I could tell you I have 20 outstanding men that I know off the top of my head, all single, looking for love. Outstanding men, like meet all the criterias. Even better than me, I think. Well, I know, and all the criterias, and they can't find a woman that's decent enough to marry. Like really, court her, do the whole door opening thing, and can't find it. Can't. And I'm talking black and white, right? Not just. I'm not just sticking with white guys. Can't find it. And it's so sad. And it's not that. Listen, some of them date some babes, man. I'm like, dude, not that one. Like, goddamn, I'd love her just to say hi to me. Not. And he's like, no, bro, she's whacked in the head. Like, what do you mean she's whacked in the head? She don't even know how to cook. An apron? What's an apron? She came over to my house and she saw pots and pans and said, why do you have so many nice pots and pans? Like it was foreign language to her. Like that's a simple talk there, Vic.
Yep.
That's simple talk, man. That's guy talk. You know that. You know?
Yep. Like
women don't even talk about how good they cook and how their husbands ate up a plate that can just bloat them with all that. You know, they don't talk like that anymore.
I think it's
but they want protection.
The protection piece keeps coming up, and then I got another video I'm gonna play after that because that's like what you're talking about is kind of the theme of what I kind of like snatched off the internet to really have some talking points about, because I knew that you were gonna have something that was like really grinding your gears, so to speak, you know. And I know you like that balloon pop show, so check this out.
Morals and who is financially stable, and I know you're broke, but anyways, and also so many broke people. I know it happens, but also just, you know, someone who can laugh with and have a great time with.
Okay, so we have all of the popped balloons, so we're gonna go down the line and ask a few questions.
Let's do it.
What's your name, age, and why did you pop your balloon, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Justin. I'm 33. I'm a vice president of Streeter Partnership for an economic development firm. And I popped because I think it takes a lot of courage to come on a show like this and to kind of laugh off people's intention when folks are here genuinely. I feel like that's not great. So.
Okay. And would he be your type?
No, but I also didn't get anyone's intention. No one actually got a chance to even say anything, so I didn't laugh at anyone's intentions at all.
Your comment while we pop balloons about folks being broke is just not really appreciated. So.
Well, they popped my balloon. It wasn't appreciated on my end either. That's unfortunate. Let's move on.
Okay. And name, age, and what do you do for a living?
How you doing? My name is Chris. I'm 35 years old, and I do security/actor. Now, I was going to keep my balloon only because you do acting. The reason why I popped it is a petty comment, okay? So you say you want a man financially stable, which is completely understand. But because the man popped his balloon and you want to call him broke, I can't do that, okay? You just got to understand the man, period. Just because...
we heard your comment. You don't have to go too deep.
I wanted to, just like you did on the last episode. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next one.
I didn't know this was about the last episode. Oh my gosh.
What's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
I'm Daquan Lee.
What's up, Daquan?
What up? I'm from Mount Vernon, New York, and I own a mingle and dating company. We host events, and I'm also a lifestyle coach.
Okay, and why did you pop your balloon today?
2 reasons. She's not really the type I would go after, and I think she's toxic.
Toxic? Do you want to elaborate?
I get a toxic vibe.
I'm not toxic at all.
That's fine, but she's not the type for me. And
That's great. Let's move on.
it's her combativeness.
Okay. Name, age,
I don't
and what you do for a living.
I'm Darion, 31 years old, and I own a food truck.
Okay. And why did you pop your balloon
Just the
today?
physical, that was it. The comment that just added on afterwards, but it was just the physical.
Okay. And would he be your type?
No.
Let's move on. Hi, name, age, and what you do for a living.
I'm Josh. I'm 33. I work in the telecommunications industry as an account executive. I also do some stocks on the side, and I'm also finishing a blueprint to get a business started with credit card terminals. I hope that to start off next year.
Okay, nice. And why did you pop your balloon today?
So, everything was good, just because the attraction was there. But yeah, the comment, calling him broke, that's what it was for me. Because in the past, I've been a man who led with money just to prove I had money, but the women always had different intentions because of that. So I'm doing it on the reverse side. I don't want to be that person that leads with money that proves I have money. Let things flow, and then you're going to see what I got. But just in the beginning, that kind of tells me what your intentions are.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think asking for a man to be financially stable tells you your intentions. I mean, if I'm financially stable and you're not, that would be me taking the L and you just be leeching. But I digress.
Well, another thing that I want to add is that there's a difference between asking that question and having a conversation and just making projections. You made a projection.
All for one person, not everybody in the room. But if you want to take everybody's opinion and make it yours, that's fine. Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. Hi, what's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Jalen. I'm 28. I work with DHS. I help the homeless find homes. Yeah, kind of. At first, it was just the initial attraction, but yeah, kind of what everybody else said. I kind of didn't appreciate that comment. That was, in my eyes, kind of corny. You
I
didn't
know,
really need
it
to take
hurts
it
to
that.
be broke. Let's move on.
I guess. I guess.
I've never seen a financially stable person complain about someone saying you should not be broke. Just saying, but let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Let's
said.
move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Not even going to entertain it.
Hi, what's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Monroe. I'm 29 years old. I work for a company called
She's
Business
cooked.
Fire, and I run a security company with a partner of mine.
Done.
Okay, and why did you pop your balloon today?
Initially, I was all for it, but I think how you treat other folk, it just got something to say about yourself too. But it's also, real good feminine energy, but I do like a little bit more outspoken as well,
Okay, and would he be your type?
No.
Okay. Well, let's walk it back. Unfortunately, there are no more balloons, so there might be better luck next time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you so
laugh
much.
is embarrassed. She's so embarrassed. That laugh is an embarrassment laugh.
Yeah, she's
cooked. Yup.
She's
And
cooked.
none of them could be her type because none of them liked her, so of course they're not her type. But
Yeah.
that's embarrassed. That laugh, that chuckle, that's when a woman is highly embarrassed.
Yeah.
She couldn't even stay at the end and talk to the host about her experience there. That's how embarrassed she was, right? And she can't walk in heels for one because she was skipping, and two, all that little jiving she was doing as she was walking, trying her best, cutesy and feminine, wasn't working, right? So you could tell. That's why I say, man, black women need to take an etiquette class. Jesus Christmas, the most manliest of fucking women I've ever seen in my life. It's like they pee standing up. You don't. It's like seeing them in heels is a struggle. A fucking struggle, man. It's like just to be soft and soft-spoken is hard. You can't even accept constructive criticism. You have to insult. And that's part of being a woman, knowing when to talk and when to be passive and when to be quiet and when to say your point without kind of like hurting the person.
That's just being a reasonable adult.
Holy shit, man. It's like femininity for them is like speaking a fucking foreign language. And I'm sorry I'm swearing. It's just so frustrating. You the manliest of fucking women, bro. Like just in how they talk, the ghetto-ness about them. They're just like, what the shit, man? Take a course. That's why I'm saying they need to hang out with white people because they can't pull that shit. they cannot, and they know they can't. They know they can't. That's why they always feel uncomfortable when they're the only black person in the room because they don't know how to mingle outside of their own. Holy shit, man. It's embarrassing. Well, fucking embarrassing. Every time I see that show, that's why I don't watch it anymore because it just gets me like, it just shows they're looking for their 15 minutes of fame and let me insult the black guy. Let me insult the black guy. Let me chuck and jive with him. Let me insult the black guy. Like that. And you know what? Other people see this show, even if it's a skit, and go, yeah, that's how they are. Shit. They don't even get along amongst themselves.
Man, I got one more video. And I gotta make an announcement after this. And we're gonna wrap up and then we'll talk some more backstage. Okay, so let's go.
I'm gonna make a huge point, and this is probably gonna send me viral again. So, lacking emotional control is the exact reason why, in addition to why men don't approach anymore, they don't, all this other stuff. Lacking emotional control is what makes women untrustworthy to men. Men, in addition to all the other things, don't want to open up to us. And you can ask the man sitting right next to you right now, what will be the number one reason that you don't get vulnerable with women? And what are they going to say?
Exposing your business, bringing stuff back from
there. You go. We're going to throw it right back in your face. And before I was told this before, like, oh, this is why guys, my brother and I had this debate. And I was like, that's not true. I've never thrown something back at somebody. But he was like, you're thinking about you. We're saying women in general. And we made a lot of things. So we started asking the guys in the house, we asked Elisa was there, we asked other people. And they were all like, oh, because we're not going to throw it back in your face. Yeah. 100%. Men feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a man and you're on here, like.
Even if it's a mistake.
But that's the thing. Yeah. We are so emotionally unhinged that we are willing to jeopardize our integrity just to be right or to prove a point.
Or to deflect.
Or to win an argument, like whatever it is. And it's like, I feel like that comes down to character at the end of the day. Being emotionally controlled, I should say lack of emotional control, it affects your judgment and your ability to make sound decisions. This is why a lot of women, they're very quick to, well, I should say this is why a lot of men aren't so quick to be reactive. When you're reactive to everything, nobody is trusting you with any information. You are untrustworthy. No one's trusting you with information. The moment you get mad, oh, well, I didn't mean to. And that's the thing. See, y'all are so different out there. For me, you got one time to not mean to. You're out of here.
You just said
You're
something.
You're kicking rocks.
You just said something. And I'm addressing this to women. The woman that a guy would most likely take to that altar is a woman that he believes he can give that information and keep.
Yeah, and she won't let it slip.
That's one of the big factors besides all of the other things during the relationship that a guy will pay attention to. And it'll be one of his red flags where I will either just be with this girl for however long we're living together, blah, 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 nothing's happening, versus, okay, I believe I could take you to the altar or to the courthouse or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's a big factor.
And I think another huge misconception, oh, come on. I'm about to just upload it. Another huge misconception that women have, right? We believe we're so much more, oh yeah, women are so emotionally, we're more emotionally intelligent, we're more emotionally mature or whatever because we express our emotions. But how many women, emotional intelligence and emotional control speaks to your ability to express your emotions in a healthy way. And a lot of y'all don't know how to do that. No. You've never learned, and quite frankly, you've never had to learn. Because the men that you deal with, they rather let you be. They rather shut up and just sit in a corner and let you nag on or whatever instead of telling you what's what, because they don't want to risk losing you. Because what comes with all that emotional spiraling? Drama. Drama. A lot of men, they don't want to have to deal with that. So it's just like, I ain't even gonna say, okay, you're right. You're right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, whatever. Some of y'all are so emotionally unhinged. And I think it's so funny. You're just like, oh, at the end of the day, he knows who he's gonna come home to. He not going nowhere. Girl, what's the point of coming home if you gotta spend an extra 25 minutes in the driveway?
Yep. She was 100% right on all what she said. But you know what pissed me off the most watching this video again, bro? What did I tell you last week? Come on, think hard.
Refresh me. Rewind. Take me back.
The fucking presentation, bro. She looked like a guy sitting there, legs wide open, fucking jeans, like a man. Like, you think how much more powerful would I have been? That's like the guy with the baseball cap with that string hanging off his head. How much more powerful would that have been had her legs been crossed and she's conducting herself like a feminine woman and delivering that message? But I've got to sit looking at somebody that looks like drag to me, and I'm like, okay, your message is good, girl, but god damn, you couldn't just like try to exude a little femininity, just like you couldn't just close your legs so I'm not looking at a pair of jeans. You look wondering if you got something down. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like, oh, it just pisses me off. And then you want protection. There can only be one man in the relationship, and you ain't it. I mean, it's like we don't even care about our presentation, how we exude ourselves, how people observe us. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah. I think you got
everything, man. Presentation is everything. You don't walk into a boardroom with a fucking sweatsuit on unless you own the company. Like shit.
I think there's merit to what you're saying for sure, because it's some things are more received. They receive different ways based on presentation. But like I was just listening to the message. If I had my eyes closed, I wouldn't care what she had on. Because
my eyes aren't closed and I ain't deaf. I can see just fine. I'm gonna look at the message. I'm gonna see it because that's part of the presentation. That's part of the package. We need to work on our package, our image. Isn't that what we're always talking about?
It's so true. You know,
we need to work on our package, our image. We need to be received better. In order to get received better, you got to look the part so then you can open your mouth and see if you're worth hearing. Holy shit, man.
Man, you know, which brings us to the end of this broadcast. So, Antoine, I got some big things coming. You know, Ashley Marie has added a lot of value to the platform, and I got an announcement. You know, I'm starting my own coaching show. I'm gonna be the internet stepdaddy. You know, I'm going to take a stab at mentoring our community, presentation, etiquette, and have a better understanding of where we are and how we use social media to create better outcomes. I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna extend it, and I want to invite anyone that's watching to come onto the platform. Stay tuned. Follow the Facebook page. Go follow Accountable Masculinity on Facebook, and study the group. For right now, keep in tune with our current YouTube channel. Whole new platform coming. And matter of fact, let me just go ahead and put up the flyer so you guys can get a better visual of what's really cooking over here. See that? Yeah. You want to know why you're still single? It don't even matter. You got to come over to the platform to find out. You know, look for this flyer on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna also drop the link tree. So if you want to be a guest, all of the places that you can contact, you sign up on this sheet. You sign up on this roster to get your chance to be on the show and book your opportunity right here. You know, so Code Talk is the solutions only platform podcast, it will be back because we're gonna do a big inauguration panel, and we're gonna shake up the platform going into 2025. This has been great, and when we go into the new year, we want to have a new outcome, a new look, and that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'll be doing a show Monday through Friday, starting next week. So I would appreciate your support. Get ready to meet you already know who I am. I'm your internet stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So, Antoine, would you like to close us out with your final thoughts? Any rants that you want to get off your chest? Because,
dude, I just, like I said, man, people need to work on their image, man. You want people to, the first thing, you only have one chance to make a first impression. That's the truest statement, right? You don't own the company that you're applying for, so you got to look the image. You got to look the part. You know, I'm not saying wear designer clothes. I'm not saying look like you're refined all the time. But even when I come on this show, I try to make sure my background looks clean, my shirt's actually ironed, and I have to present what I'm going to talk about. But too many times people are not focused on their image, yet they want the image of the black person or black woman or black man to change. It cannot change because why? Because you don't look the part. And when you don't look the part, you are judged. Whether you like it or not, you are judged. That's how people make their first judgment, right? You do it every day. When you're walking down the street and you see a homeless guy, you know he's homeless based on where he is and what he looks like. And then when you get closer, you smell him. And then when you talk to him, you know he's homeless because he hasn't brushed his teeth. It's in those steps. And people need to do that. I mean, I won't even take you serious myself if you don't look at least presentable, because I have standards too. I'm not saying I'm above you or anything like that. And no one's saying you have to be above that person. But if you know you're going to a certain event, you know you're going to be talking, you know you're going to be live, you know you're going to be, you can always work on your language and your lingo and how you speak and all that sort of stuff and how you present yourself. That's fine. But at least look the part so people can take you serious. And if you don't look the part, there's no need for them to take you serious because you couldn't even take the time to look good or look presentable, I should say.
Well, I think that the way that you laid it out, man, is the only way we can close it out. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great year. We've had a lot of deliberate and intentional commentary that is stored and documented where you can't say you didn't see it, and then you got to know where to go get it. And for those of you that need to know where to go get it, that are watching on YouTube, you already know. But for those of you that are watching this not on YouTube, go check out Accountable Masculinity University on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. And we are out.